Welcome to Drika Dines. I'm Drika and today we'll make a one-pot lentil stew meal. We're excited today because we're joined by two good friends. Aaron is a professional cook here on PEI. You see him in the video. And his assistant, who happens to be his wife and a professional cook, is Kiana. And she's explaining some interesting techniques to make a stew that is anything but ordinary. So my first question is, why did you choose to make this today?
Well, we wanted to share this recipe with you because we're out here in the Maritimes. It's been a very cold spring, and it's just a wonderful stew to come home to on a rainy day.
Well, we're glad to come home to you on a rainy day, that's for sure. So what type of meat we'll talk about first before we go on to vegetarian options? What do you suggest?
Any inexpensive piece of meat that's suitable for braising would work just fine.
Well, that's easy. So Aaron went to cut potatoes, carrots, onions, and garlic. So that reminds me as well, the vegetarian options we've mentioned. What would you recommend?
Well, for the meat, you can substitute that with any of your favorite vegetable that you'd enjoy roasting, like mushrooms or tomatoes. And later we're using a stock. You can just replace that instead of a meat stock with a vegetable stock.
Well, that sounds flavorful on its own. I would try that any day. And I have to ask as well, I'm the type of person that chops potatoes and then throws them into anything, but I notice Aaron soaks his in cold water. And why is that?
Well, we put the potatoes in cold water because it prevents browning in the potato, and it also removes some of the starch that's in the potato. And by removing the starch, it when we cook the potato later, it'll keep its form better. Whereas if we were to throw it in, it might crumble the potato.
Well, it's those little things that separate the professionals from the amateurs. Okay, and I do see often lately ginger is used in Asian recipes with peel. And what do you think works best?
Well, we decided to leave the peel on the ginger because it provides a lot of minerals, nutrients, and vitamins to the stew. And as we see here, Aaron is using a technique of stripping off the leaves of the tarragon. And with that technique, you can actually use that with kale. You just hold one end of the stem and just a quick motion, just grab and strip it right off. And with the herbs, actually in the recipe, we just chop them up. Next, we're going to start browning our meat. You want this pot preheated, and right here we used vegetable oil. Once the beef is browned, you want to remove the beef from the pot, and we'll be adding the beef back later. But right now we're going to use this pot to cook our onions and carrots, and throughout this process you want to be checking in every now and then and stirring, make sure nothing sticks or burns. We just added our garlic and ginger. And now we're going to deglaze our stew, which is just by adding the stock, and by doing that it picks up all the yummy flavors that were stuck at the bottom. Next we add our can of crushed tomatoes, and then we'll be adding our potatoes, and as well as we'll be adding our green lentils next. And we chose green lentils because green lentils tend to keep its form better rather than other lentils, they might crumble. Then we add our beef, and next we'll want to add water till it covers the ingredients, and then you want to put a lid on that and simmer for about 45 minutes. And once that time's up, season your stew, and if it's too thick, just add more water, but be sure to re-season.
Wow, we really appreciate your coming because this was definitely a gourmet stew. And honestly, you and Aaron can come for dinner anytime. So thank you for watching. To our viewers, don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, and if you liked the video, hit the like button. Bye for now.